Hello everybody, just want to do a breakdown of my aquaponics system. Here's my vegetables. I just started this out about 9 days ago. These guys were really small, so in 9 days they've actually grown pretty big. Actually, I got some that I planted outside that I can show you the comparison in 9 days. Give me 1 second. Is these guys, these little small guys here. I germinated the seeds. I did it all from seed. These ones are the same as the one in my aquaponics. They were planted once again 9 days ago, so you can see the difference, a pretty big difference. I mean, it's just leaf lettuce and kale, and then I got some tomatoes that I've got started in there. I do microgreens as well. This is just for personal use, all done within just this past couple weeks. I use a fish tank. I actually use a 250-gallon fish tank. It works out well for me. I don't use any rock in the bottom. And the reason I don't use any rock in the bottom is basically because of this guy. This is something that I kind of came up with, and it works really well. So what it is, it takes the solids out of the bottom of the tank, and then I routed that pipe, which is the one that's bent right here, and I put it in the swirl filter. And then the swirl filter takes my solids out. And then from my swirl filter, I go to a sump underneath of my tank, and then that just runs through. I use sock filters just for an extra little, just to be able to get a little bit more of the finer particles out. If I don't use the sock filters, I get just a little tiny bit of cloudiness inside. But I just now had to update my solid sucker, and the reason why is because about 2 to 3 weeks ago, it was just a regular hose going up, and I was using it as a siphon, and I knew that if my pump would go out, that it would drain my tank, because of course the water level is going to continue siphoning until you get water to the bottom of the actual bell down there. So that actually happened to me. I shut the valve off here, this valve off every night, and that way it stopped the siphon, and then when I opened it back up in the morning, it would start to siphon again, and so on and so forth. So what I did today is I just added another bell up on top, and then I'm experimenting with this right now because I came up with a couple different designs, but this one seems to be working pretty good. So if you look, this pipe is actually siphoning, but once it goes down below the pipe, the actual water line, it will create the air to get in there to stop the siphon. So, but you can see it actually working pretty well. The little bubble that you're seeing come up is where it's pulling the water from underneath, and that is bringing the solids through here. And then I can show you from underneath of how well it's working. Kind of hard to see from there, but you get underneath and you look, there's not really any solids coming through. There's that one, it's kind of stuck. But if you look real close, you can see the solids going up through. There's nothing real big coming through right now, but there goes one. See, now watch. Boom, they're gone. And it sucks all the solids up in there very well. And so, the way my tilapia, they create a lot of solids. And so if I shut that off overnight, I end up accumulating a lot. And just for the time that I shut it off to do the revamp of that, you can see the solids that have collected. But as the fish get fed, and I just turned the pump up a little bit, but see, as they move it, it eventually goes over there and gets sucked under and then collects out of it. Pretty impressed on how that's working for me. So with me not using any media on the ground, on the bottom of my tank, and I'm just keeping it glass, I put my media, my lava rock, just in my sump. So my sump, just literally, I have a couple actual socks right now because I had to wash my sock filters. But usually 3 filters here, and those 2 filter the overflow of my tank, which is back here. So it just goes down and goes through the sock filters, back through the lava rock, which is the beneficial bacteria, and then it comes over here and just goes out my pump. And then how I feed the water to my plants is my pump. I just put I think it's 1.5 inches going up, and then I have 2 1-inch lines back here, and if you can see both valves. The one the farthest from me feeds my tank, and the one that's closest to me feeds my bed. So it comes out, goes over here, and then goes through the pipe. And just like I said, I'm kind of struggling with a couple of these because I only had 1 light, but I'm working on one right now. I had one in my aquarium. I got this for free and it has lights in it, so I changed it over and I took this T5 out from the tank, but it has Coralife bulbs in it, and I was going to try to get some grow bulbs, but I may throw it up there for now because it's still just a white and blue spectrum. But if you look, like my they're doing really well. I mean, I don't want to pull it all the way out, but I do introduce oxygen in at the very beginning, at the very front here. And if you can see down in there, there's bubbles. And I do it one other time right here. If you can see down in there, it's bubbling. But yeah, these things were actually, for 9 days, it came a long way. But again, I just grow microgreens. It ain't really part of the aquaponics setup, but fun to do. But anyhow, if anybody has any comments or anything, I'd be more than glad to take recommendations, but also if I can help you, I'd be glad to help you out. So thank you for watching, and have a great and wonderful day.